Hello friends. So today we're going to create a program that will calculate slope-intercept form or line equation of a line in slope-intercept form, and it'll do basically the stuff I have in this page. That's what the program will do. We'll go over these problems and do all of these problems, and then we'll look at a Python. We'll create a Python program and have Python do it for us. So to do this, let's go ahead and solve some of these problems by hand so we have an understanding of what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and solve the first one. It says write an equation of a line that passes through the points 6, 1 and 8, negative 4. So let's go ahead and start with our first function, which will be the print menu. So we'll have def print menu. It won't have any parameters in there, so we'll just be printing things. So print. I'll go ahead and make this quickly. Alright, so this is our print menu function. It'll do the things that we just stated in the Word doc. It'll do 3 things and then it'll print a blank line. Now we're going to make a function that'll calculate the first line of this first command here. So we're going to call it calculate line 2 points. And this function will take x1, x2, y1, and y2. So m equals y2 minus, so rise over run, y2 minus y1, and this is over x2 minus x1. So we, just like we did on the paper in the Word doc, how we solved it by hand, we'll do the same thing. We'll put that into this code here. That's the beauty of programming. So now we'll solve for b. B equals y1 minus m times x1. So that's we were simplified for b in terms of y1 and m and x1, basically the slope-intercept equation. So we're going to say if m equals 0, print what? So if m is 0, y equals b, right? Y equals comma b. Else Alright, so else print y is a formatted version of mx plus b. So that's the first function. And then we're going to make a second function that will calculate slope of a line in a point, given a point. So we can say def calculate line slope point. And this one will take x, y, and m. X, comma, y, comma, m. And then and then just like before, we have the same thing. We're going to solve for b, so copy and paste there. So the else block also stays just like the other code, just like so. Okay, and then we'll have a last function. we'll call it calculate line point perpendicular slope. And this guy will take x, y, and m1, x, comma, y, comma, m1, and m is, so we're going to calculate for m. M we said is -1 over m1. So m1 is the slope that the user inputs, and based on it, we'll calculate our own slope that we're interested in. So b equals y minus this line of code here, copy and paste, and I have, so we'll print a blank line, and y equals mx plus b. So these are all the functions I need. Now I can create my main function. So in main, we'll start off with a while loop, while true. So this is so that way we can run our code over and over. Print menu. So we'll call that function, and we'll do some try except else blocks. So try choice equals. Alright, so so far I did the main function. I have a while loop. I start with a print menu, which is up here, and then we have a try except else block. So we take a choice as an integer input from the user to choose one of the options above, and if this option has to be from 1 to 3. So this is what these two lines of code are doing. So it needs to be valid input. If the user inputs say 4 or -1 or a string, these two blocks of code will take care of it. And I have continue in each one so we can continue and not be in a while loop. Actually be in the while loop. So once the user inputs something that we don't want, we are gonna re-ask the user to choose one of the options. So else, I created a Boolean variable is named true, and while that is called flag, while flag, try. So I've created the 4 inputs as float from the user, x1, x2, y1, and y2, and now we're going to calculate, we're going to call the first function that we made to do the calculation for us. So just copy this and paste here. So that's the first choice. Let's just go back to, so if choice equals 2, so now I've created oops, YouTube. So I'm taking 3 more inputs from the user if choice 2 is chosen. So that's x, y, and m as float, and then we're going to call the second function, which is this one. Just copy and paste. And then lastly, if choice equals 3, we're going to take more inputs. Actually, I forgot the except and else was. So except. So in the try block, we do everything. If the user inputs something that's not a number, any number, then we need to exclude that out. So that's what this exclude except value error does. And else flag equals false. So if everything is well, then the command comes to this line here, else, and then it'll be false, and we get out of the while loop. So for choice 2, I have to do the same thing. So I need to have try, and all of this indented. And then just like that. So if choice is 3, try. So I'm just going to copy and paste these 3 lines, but call this one M1. Enter M1. And call this slope of the perpendicular line. So once I take, let's see, this needs to be there. So once I do that, then I can call the function here. This one takes x, y, and M1. And copy and paste down there, and then copy and paste this one here. Alright, so we're almost done with our code, basically. So we need to somehow get rid of this while true while loop here. So we need to come down here, I believe. Yeah. So print answer. Alright, so this is how we get out of the while loop. So we can just play this game over and over, keep running the code again, unless the user wants to not do it anymore. So if they want to quit the program, then hit Y for yes, and the program breaks out and it shuts down. Alright, so we'll go ahead and run this. Go ahead and check the first problem, see if we did it right. So let me go back here to this problem. So the first one, the point is 6, 1, 8, negative 4, and see if we get this equation correctly. Y equals negative 5 halves x plus 16. I'm going to choose the first one. We said x1 is 6, 1, 8, negative 4. So x1 is 6, x2 is 8, 1, negative 4. So we get negative 2.5x plus 16. So that matches what we got here. Negative 5 halves x plus 16. Alright, I'm going to run the program again. And then we're going to do the second one. So in the second problem that we did, we have slope of 1/2 and then goes through the point 6, 4. We got y equals 1/2 x plus 1. So let's do that. Slope is 1/2 and 6, 4. Go back to the code. So 6, 4, 0.5 plus 1. Let me see if we... Yes, 1/2 x plus 1. So, alright, so I went ahead and fixed the issue. So let's go ahead and run it again and do the third problem. The third problem had given us m, or x and y are 3, 7, the point, and m is 0.75. So let's go ahead and enter that. So go ahead and run it. We get 3. Oops, yes. I did this. I have to redo this. So put 3, and then 3, 7, and 0.75, and we have a float of rounded to 2 decimal places. So how I fixed it is I kept the line of code I had previously. I still have that there, but I did it the other way of formatting. I have y equals %.2f x plus %.2f, and these are %m and b. That's how I formatted it. And this line of code is repeated for the other 2 functions here. And that'll take care of the formatting, y equals mx plus b. I wanted to run it one more time and see if our exception handling is working. So let's hit T. It says invalid input and try again. If we hit 4, it does the same thing. Let's hit 2. So for x we hit R. It says enter a number. Of course we can enter negative numbers. Negative 8. I can hit, and then M. Let's call this James. It has to be a number, but it goes all the way back to x instead of going back to n. All right, so that's how we create a slope-intercept function or slope-intercept equation program with Python. Thanks for watching.